My hand is bleeding? Yeah. This is kind of fun. Why did the first shin turn out nicer so far than the other one? What am I doing differently? We gotta trust the process, I guess. It's funny, man, because if you look at the miniature, like if you look at the brush, there's like nothing on it, it seems. Something's happening though. I can see it getting wet. Hey, yeah, that's what she said. I don't get it, but anyways. All right, suddenly you're too good for that Aqua Steel? Sure, buddy. Aqua Steel turned 25 the other day. Immediately too good for wiener jokes. All right, buddy. You posted a frowny emoji. That's all you did. You know what you did. I'm trying to like put as little paint on the brush as I can. That's what I'm trying to do. I think one mistake I made when I first started painting was using brushes that are too small. It feels weird to like use a relatively, like this is a pretty large brush for, but it's weird to like, so I don't want to have a lot of paint on my brush. So you automatically are more inclined to use a smaller brush, but then with the smaller brush, it just dries up too quick. Some of it feels a little counterintuitive. When I paint miniatures, I use my finger. You were watching Flame on paint and he uses a huge brush for tiny details. Yeah. Like as long as the tip is good. I mean, this one's a bit messy right now. Maybe I could lick it. Yeah, the finish with a smaller brush seems different. No, I've never done a subathon in my life. As a matter of fact, even though I've been streaming for over a decade, I've been streaming for a very long time, I have never done a 24-hour stream. Yeah. Let alone a subathon. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of pure corneret. Just to go one step brighter. Too bright? No, it should be okay. Trust the process, trust the process. I have done like a 20-hour stream before, yeah. We got very close. That wasn't originally meant to be a 24-hour stream, but we got bored. It wasn't very fun. Maybe it was like 18 hours, I don't remember. That was when the new World of Warcraft expansion had just released. Yeah, see, we trusted the process, chat. See, that shit actually dried up okay. You cannot even tell that I did anything to it. Paint his new pad black, by the way, in a second again. When we're done with this. Okay. Sometimes deciding what direction I want to paint, like say for example for the nose of this shoe, how do I, like in what direction do I glaze? I want to have, like I guess, I want the brightest spot to be on the part where I leave the brush, right? So I guess we want to go in that direction, but. We did a 19-hour and 48-minute stream on September 8th, 2019. That was 2019, dude? Ugh. Yikes. Now I know what you're thinking. 2019, that's like 2 years ago. What's the problem, Lowko? Right, true. Big true, actually. Work inwards from both sides on the areas like that, or little round specular highlights. So what about these like little circular bits? Do I just very gently try to move the pigment into the middle? Kind of tickle it like that? Go around the side? We could dot it as well, I guess, really gently, but... Tickle around in circles. Seems like maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah. Okay. I don't really need like a super extreme transition. I think those shins are good as they are. We don't need anything too crazy. This is actually a surprisingly forgiving technique. Because sometimes, like, you look at the paint when it's wet, and that looks way too bright. But then within like a half minute, it's dry, and it doesn't look really that extreme at all. It's just that, like, I guess when it's wet, the texture of the paint looks a little different. The whole color looks weird. So little sections like that, I guess. How much to see your feet, Lowko? I have my cart. Wow. What just happened, Reshi? Why are you talking about my feet, dude? That is one hell of a way to join the chat channel, Reshi. I mean, I obviously already knew you were big into feet, but the fact that you, like, publicly share that now with everybody in the stream, I just am a little surprised by all of that. I didn't think you were so open about it. Yeah, you just bust through the door. It's 2025, Lowko. We don't shame people. That's true, I guess. I mean, I shame people all the time, though. But anyway. Maybe I'm a terrible person. The jury's not yet out on whether or not I'm terrible. What's going on, Green Effect? Welcome to the stream, dude. Is that your first ever YouTube message, dude? Dang. Green Effect says, please stop playing Warcraft 3. You're just doing it for the money and the views. It's sad to watch. Dang, that's crazy. RTS players are always in it for the money, huh? That's wild, dude. I guess I'm gonna highlight to the top of his wiener. Now that Reshi is here, we can begin. Actually, I need to make sure that we have a bit of a shade there first. No, I like yours better, Rishi. Playing games for fun in 2025? Holy crap, that's cringe. I haven't played a game for fun since like 2011. Ooh, we did a little bit of wet blending. Now this looks a little suspicious, but I think when it dries... Guys, let's literally watch paint dry. I'm pretty sure this will look fine when it's dry. We're gonna spend about a minute watching paint dry. Get comfortable, sit back. Well, maybe don't sit back. Maybe get, you know, your subscriptions out, that sort of thing. A wiener highlight is important. Huh? It looks like it needs a doctor? No, 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 I think it's okay. We gotta trust the process, dude. I don't think it's supposed to be that color. Nope, nope, it's okay. That's a nicely blended crotch. Thank you, dude. See? We gotta trust the process. It's not even that bright anymore. So what did we learn? Always highlight your, no, make sure to dip some paint on, There we go. That looks really suspicious, I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. This is a lovely model, actually, dude. I'm really liking how well defined every section is. Like these sparks with the, like these things over here with the little tubes and stuff, bit annoying. But the panels themselves are really nicely defined. This is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be way more time intensive. Lowko, please stop mini painting. It's painful. You're only in it for the money and the views. True. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, I do make content for a living, Chet. Can't feed myself off of passion alone. I know. I wish I could feed myself off of passion alone. That used to be the sentiment back in the day, though. Like back in the day when I first started doing some sponsored content on YouTube for, like, you know, a Snickers and then sometimes like a computer mouse. I would sometimes have people coming in and saying like, hey, yo, this is not okay. Like you doing anything and getting money for it. This is not cool, Lowko. Why are you being such a sellout? Yeah. That sentiment has changed a bunch over the years. People are a lot more accepting about those sorts of things now. For some reason, you guys don't seem to mind the fact that I can, you know, make a living. Funny how that works. I mean, everybody here except Rushy. Rushy's like, Lowko, get a real job. How about you get a real job? You loser. Games Workshop sponsorship, when? I mean, I've done some content for like different Warhammer games. Does that count? I mean, Games Workshop was not involved in any of that as far as I'm aware, but hey. I think it counts. Hold on, wait to burst my bubble. We actually have some sponsor content coming up over the next couple weeks. It's been pretty quiet, dude. January started off so strong, I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. We had like 3 sponsored streams in January and a YouTube video or 2. It was a banger. And that was also the last sponsored content I've done. It's, you know. Anyway. But now we're here. If James, oh, James from James Workshop? Gotcha. If he hasn't reached out to me, right. No, he hasn't. Yeah, no, I have had companies reaching out with shitty mobile games, but I don't really want to do those. I should put a price on ethics and make it steep. I mean, I'm not saying I will never promote a shitty mobile game, dude. Put a price on ethics and make it steep? Anybody familiar with Novel Keys? I am not, Rushy. Did you know that you are just 1 keyboard purchase away from being the highest ranked player in whatever game you currently are competing in? Like, if you buy Cyril's exact gaming setup, you will be the #1 StarCraft 2 player within moments. What's really holding you back, though, is your gamer chair. Do you have a gamer chair? You do? You don't? You have a Herman Miller? God, Rashid, jeez, we knew you were rich. What's going on, Pang? Hello. No, I have never done like a Raid Shadow Legends type of sponsorship or anything along those lines, really. Mostly because, well, honestly, we're kind of in a position where I don't really need to be doing sponsored content like that to like pay the bills, which is nice. Never really set myself up for those sorts of things, but I don't know. I don't really want to promote stuff that I don't agree with. Or stuff that I don't personally like. It's not that any of those games are, you know, bad necessarily, it's just that I don't really play mobile games. And a lot of mobile games have never really gone past like the shitty monetization system, right? That everybody's well familiar with, I'm sure. Where everything is ultimately very pay to win. And I don't like that. I think it's lame. So I'm not saying every mobile game is by default bad. It's just that a lot of them, sadly, are not super exciting to me. You just got done telling me, Lowko, that if I buy Cyril's keyboard, I would win at StarCraft 2. Yeah. I did tell you that. It was a lie, Rishi. I lied to you all the time, dude. All the time. All the time. You know why a lot of people do promote mobile games a lot? Generally speaking, the shadier the game, like the shittier the monetization system, the more money you get paid as somebody that promotes it. The better the game, the more legit the game, generally speaking, vice versa. The sketchier the product, the more questionable the monetization tactics. The better it's gonna be, dude. All right, guys. I mean, it's not super tidy. It's not super clean. I don't know if this is just bad or if it's just a different texture. No, it's pretty bad. We'll have to shade over that. That's pretty bad. Actually, all of that is pretty bad. I think my brush was just a little bit too, or my paint rather was a little bit too. Probably had too much on my brush. A little bit more glazing. What's up, Dylan? How are you? Fellow glazer. I think we need to highlight the wiener more, guys. I really keep thinking that I'm already going too bright, but I barely see a highlight. Lowko in the chat? No. I don't think they were talking about me when it came to professional painters. Highlight the bulge, yeah. It needs to have a nice bright spot. It takes a lot of layers, guys. I can't help it. It feels to me that the Warhammer painting world is relatively small in the end for like content creation at the very least. Like a lot of people just kind of watch streams and watch other people's content. It seems nice. Are you going to be doing any painting competitions next year, Dylan? Or this year, rather? Are you working on anything big? Or taking a bit of a break from it? Competition painting seems stressful. You will try SMC and Golden Demon again? Okay, sick, nice. The pieces you wanted to finish last time? Ah, okay, yeah, right. You were working on that big Eldar thing, right? Or whatever it was? I don't remember the exact, Okay. I think I am gonna change some of this just a bit. Just to hopefully tidy everything up. It's a little too stark. It's funny how the stream actually makes that more obvious. To my own eye in real life, because of the glossiness, it's a little difficult to see sometimes, but the stream is giving me like a nice little rear view mirror. The Rate Night. Right. Just the deadline was off last year. Fair enough. Okay, we're gonna try and shade a little bit as well on the belt buckle. I guess the belt, whatever this is. Do you think if you press that button on the Terminator's, you know, whatever this is on the belt, do you think his pants just fall off, or how does this work? I don't know the Terminator semantics here. Can anybody? Dude, this is my worst looking palette I've ever had. Look at this crap. Absolutely. It's a freaking war over here on my palette. It activates the micro cannon in his crotch. Holy crap. I thought they would just sort of peel off, yeah, but I didn't think about, curious. Trying to smooth out some of these little transitions. Yeah, I'm using the paper that comes with the palette. I know a lot of people like to use like a parchment paper, I think. Like the baking stuff. Is that what it's called? Parchment paper? I think so. I kind of like these sheets because you can take them off and just like clean them and then use them again. So generally I just run it under the tap at the end. And no, I haven't tried that. Does it have to be a specific type of parchment paper? Or is it just the stuff that I have in my cupboard right now? I mean, I can give it a shot regardless. Yeah, this is the reusable one that they came out with like last year. I like to imagine Lowko walks into family gatherings and does his intro at family dinners. Right. You could try it. Most parchment paper works. I guess you would want to have like white parchment paper. I think mine is like brown. But yeah, I have to give that a shot. Yeah, I've noticed in your videos like the paint behaves very differently. Like it pulls together. Or like it forms like little clumps of you know, liquid. I'm assuming that's the paper, right? Dutch parchment paper is quite good, not the brown wax stuff though. Everyone asks why, it's the paper, right. Is there any brand you use, Dylan? I don't know what we have over here. Yeah, I can imagine if you make YouTube videos for miniature painting, you just get the same questions 1,700 times a day. This is great, Meth Caller. I get to ask live questions? Very convenient. Like, not to say that your feedback isn't useful, Mask Caller, but you know. You know. What brush are you using? Very common question. The Albertine Housemark is the cheapest per meter? Okay. Hell yeah, dude. That is the best Dutch answer I could have, Dylan. That may honestly be the one that we have in the cupboard right now. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you can buy parchment paper on Amazon if you really want a specific brand, but... Are you gonna enter Golden Demon Inferno? I guess you kind of have to, right? I mean, you don't have to, but... People would probably be more inclined to imagine you were. Just makes sense. At Essen, yeah, sadly not Adepticon. Okay. Adepticon is in the US always, right? Or at least... That's the big one, right? Maybe the Essen one is big too. Like, Spiel is big. But I guess it's a lot more than just Warhammer. I haven't been. I was thinking about going last year. It's not that far. But it's also not super close. I was thinking originally about driving up there for one day and then going back, but... Seemed a bit much for that. Essen was amazing? Yeah? Okay. Even as a visitor now? Essen was great last year. Never been to Adepticon. So I've done the bottom section of the body. I mean, we can keep doing this for like another 3 hours if I want to, I guess. Maybe the belt buckle can be a bit brighter. Dude, the stream output is actually very useful. Like, this is a much better angle than my eyeballs can do. Like, it's actually bigger on camera in my output than it is in person. I need to definitely get the little recessed lining thingamajig over there. So it's a little bit patchy in some areas. When it's patchy in some areas like this, does that mean I keep going? Or does that mean... Yeah, no, those little inside bits over here and on the other side I don't like. This is a camera recommendation I got from Dialan. This is the ZVE10. I had like a fancy, so this camera lens I'm using is really nice. I originally had it over here onto this thing, but this is basically, originally this was the one that had the nice lens on it, and this one had the one, you know. Anyways, I figured we'll put the nice lens onto the mini painting setup, and that made all the difference. So this is a, I don't think you should go out and buy this one in 2025, but this is the 16-35 G Master, which is not really meant to be on this camera body, but it works really well. It's really nice and snappy. Yeah, they came out with a new version of the camera body. I don't think that one's worth buying for this use case. Maybe if you like make vlogs or something, but. I want to try and somehow... So this is a tricky part to glaze. I'm not sure what the best way of doing it is. Gets a bit patchy. I can't quite tell though if it's because the... No, I think it's okay. These look really nice now actually, these little plates. Is there such a thing as overdoing the amount of glazes you do? Guess not really. Maybe some broader strokes in some of these. Yeah, high quality lenses are really nice. They're just expensive. But one thing I have noticed about lenses is that they last a lot longer than the camera bodies. Like the technology for improvement is obviously there in lenses too, but most of the tech seems to be coming out of the camera bodies themselves. And upgrading those from time to time, I guess, can be useful after like, 5 years or so, but the lenses are always nice. Yeah, A7 IV is a beast. Yeah, camera lens makes all the difference for sure. Previously, I had the other lens onto this camera body, and it just didn't look quite as nice. Oh, yeah. I didn't pay attention to the clock at all, guys. I gotta go. Oh, dinner's ready. Normally I go offline about 15 minutes earlier. Late to my own home. Yeah, my own stream. Who told me? Lauren told me. Guys, it's been good. Hope you all enjoyed hanging out. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm going live right around noon on Twitch. Noon CET, that is. So in like, what, 16 hours from now? I do have a YouTube video, a StarCraft cast that will go live as well today. So go check that out. Other than that, thank you all very much for being here. Hope you enjoyed hanging out. Special shout out to the legends on your screen. Tomorrow on YouTube, we will go live probably around 2 p.m. my time. That's the plan. Thank you all very much for being here. Have a great start of your weekend. Don't forget to smile. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, I'm excited, guys. We get to do more miniature painting. Ta-da! This is where we're at right now. Doesn't look like too much yet, but I've been trying to paint up little gradients. I've only done the bottom section of the body so far, and we're gonna continue onwards with that. We'll probably get into some of the edge highlighting too. And hopefully, we'll be able to make everything look really clean. So I'm trying to paint a Terminator Flesh Terror. That is what we're currently trying to do. I'm very excited about continuing the painting, actually, dude. We're gonna do a little bit more of it. So you got yourself your Magnus the Red. Oy, oy, oy. Big boy miniature right there. So first off, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a mixy mix to hopefully get a bit of a nice glazing color. Where's my fellow glazers at? Gotta do a bit of a mix. Basically just aiming for a very dark red here. Ready for some W glazing. That is what miniature painting is all about. Very thin layers of paint that we can glaze straight into the recesses. I'm going a little bit darker than what I did yesterday. I think it's probably okay. I think it's probably okay. Let's see. Yeah. So we just want to glaze this into all of the little recess bits. Just keep on glazing. Basically any section where we want the move or the color to be slightly darker. That's where we want to apply this. I'm gonna go all over with it this time around though. Yesterday I kind of did like little specific sections primarily. I think we'll try and do a little bit more of a broad sweep all around. Go with a darker color first and then we'll do a glaze in the opposite direction as well when I'm happy with the shadows. WS or W glazing. Is that what the kids call it? Is that what it's? The only L's I take in life are Lowko, lunch, and love. Aww. W Glazer in the chat right there. Very nice, you'll love to see it. Did I make the paint too thick? I think I actually may have accidentally gone a little bit too thick. Needed to dilute it a little bit down, I think. W Glazer in the chat right there, dude. Yeah. This is very much so practice. I'm not very good at this. So we gotta just, you know, figure out how to get better at these sort of things. I'm listening to a playlist on Epidemic Sound called Sound of Japan. This is apparently what Japan sounds like, guys. I had no idea, dude. This is the noise of weeps going crazy right now. Yeah, I definitely had a little bit too much paint on my brush for that very first wave. Sick start, Lowko. We want it to be a little bit more transparent, kind of like that. The stuff on the left. We want it to run into the recesses of my skin. That doesn't mean we need to do a little bit of tidying up, but I guess it's okay. We need to be a W glazer, not what I just did. Ultimately though, this is just meant to create a bit of depth, right? So a lot of the depth would be dirt anyway. So we do want to have a smooth transition, that is what we're aiming for, but if I end up making some mistakes and it doesn't look super tidy, yeah, still work with it. It'll just look like dirt. I'm assuming at least a marine suit like this would get a little bit dirty. You want to keep it somewhat symmetrical though, if I can. Sound of Japan, yeah, this is my first step into becoming a VTuber. Ayaya? Ayaya's in the chat, please. Isn't that how, I don't know how to do the streaming thing, dude. I'll get the hang of the streaming thing at some point in the future. Ara. Don't forget about the coffee, chat. Sometimes people forget about the coffee altogether. Very, very important. How can you live life without drinking copious amount of caffeine? Very critical part of life. You caffeine? You don't like caffeine, Strom? Are you insane? We'll allow it, but... No, I'm not planning on painting a full squad in this color scheme. I was thinking actually maybe doing a couple different varieties of Terminators. So maybe one like, I don't know, Space Wolf, for example, and then like maybe like a classic Space Marine, that sort of thing. I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't think I'm gonna do a full squad though in the Flesh Terror color, which is what this is. Okay. Don't want it over there. Are we early today? Normal time these days. Although, if you are in the States, in the great country of Europe, we haven't yet switched on over to daylight savings, which is going to happen in, I think, a week time. So then everything will be confusing again. But at least it will only be confusing for about a half year, and then it will be confusing again. But anyway. Trying to add little bits of transition. Okay, getting there. We'll let that dry for a second and go with one of the arms. I want the bottom section of the hand over here, the power fist, to be darker than the top. So we'll glaze in that direction. Should be good. Same for the other arm. It's good on Lena. Hope all is well. Okay, the shading is starting to actually appear. Especially in the sections that we are redoing today. It's honestly a pretty quick process so far. I mean, could be quicker, but we're not in a rush. A little bit of shade as well going up that direction, I think, and then the same going down the other way. So hopefully we can get a little bit of a transition inside of that helmet. I think it would look nice. You finally got your hand on Bloodborne for the PC. Wait, Bloodborne for the PC? I don't think that game is available for the PC, unless you're using some sort of emulator. Great game, dude. Bloodborne is one of my favorite games of all time. There's a mod for it? Gotcha.